right, in the 2009 draft. In the 2009 draft, sorry, the Detroit Lions selected Matthew Stafford first overall, and he's been their franchise quarterback ever since 2009. So at this point, it's actually no, it's 12 years at this point. He's been their franchise quarterback. 12 years, right? So it's a good bit. Honestly, he never really had a chance at succeeding. He was always undergoing some staff change at one point or another. They tried to rebuild under him. It's all three times. With coaches, with a whole new staff. And now we finally got traded out there. I like the trade. I'm gonna give some reasoning as to why, but first let me give a little history. So 2009, I went over that, but also Matthew Stafford. He's been to the playoffs three times, all three in his record in the postseason is 0-3, which is honestly not his fault. He has a shot now in LA, which I really like. They made it to the playoffs. I believe it was the second round, or they lost to Green Bay. In the first round, they beat the Seahawks, but they lost to Green Bay. And they made it there with Matthew Stafford. So with this trade, they got Stafford and a third round draft pick in exchange to going to the Lions. Sorry, there was Jared Goff, two firsts, and a third round pick. And honestly, this is not an overpayment. With another time that the Rams have been under McVay, they have never once had a first round pick. So I mean, this is not too bad considering the fact that they've never really had a draft pick high with McVay, and they've still been under relative success. They haven't won Super Bowls, but if you remember in 2018, 2019, the Los Angeles Rams made it sorry, excuse me, I'm drawing a blank. To the Super Bowl, and they lost. Then they fell from grace in 2020, and then last season was a good season. They made it to the playoffs, but I mean, Jared Goff held them back. Anyways, let me get more in depth into it. Before I start giving reasoning from the Rams why this was a fantastic trade, I would like to show Saints. It was the Lights against the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints have one of the best secondary crews in the league. Yeah, the Saints have a great secondary, and this pass from from Matthew Stafford to Kenny Galladay was very in a tight window. Kenny Galladay was getting shadowed by, which means obviously you when you get shadowed, it means you have a cornerback on you at all times wherever you step by a Saints cornerback. I'm not too sure which one, but it was probably their number one. The number one. Sorry, I can't really remember the cornerback's name at the moment. So I'll show you this play. It's very nice, tight window, great. And then after that, there's even down by 40 with the Lions to the Rams, and I think week 11. I want to say week 11. I might be a little bit wrong on that. Maybe it was week 12. But I think the game was week 11. Even down by 40, Matthew Stafford still gave it his all. And listen, they were down by 40, so I'm not gonna give too much analysis. But that game was a tough game to watch, and Matthew Stafford still gave it, literally played with his heart and all of his soul, despite the fact that they were down by so much in garbage time in the game. Then I have one more. There was a game another clip that really just shows how talented Matthew Stafford is. Again, he has this sprinkled out throughout the whole season, throughout his whole career. But I just feel like these three from this past season, from the 2020-2021 season, really showed why people are holding the Rams so highly at the moment. Then again, there was the Indianapolis drive. After that game, obviously, that was week 6. It was the Lions against Indianapolis. I think it was week 6 or week 7. It was before their bye. And they played Chicago in week 16, which week 16 is one of those special weeks because everyone's sort of scrambling and fighting for a playoff spot. Obviously, the Lions were not at the time, but they wanted to keep Chicago out of the playoffs, so they were fighting hard to do that, to keep them out of the playoffs. Again, this is from this last season. It was it was 30-20 for the Lions, and Matthew Stafford, with 3 minutes left on the clock, drove the ball downfield very well. I'll show it to you here. It shows easily why Chicago has an amazing cornerback, has an amazing secondary, might I add. So the fact that Matthew Stafford was able to do this is even more impressive. Goff was and then this it's showing why my argument to why the Rams wanted to trade Goff. Basically, Goff was very good in 2018-2019 when they made it to the Super Bowl. But that was largely because of McVay's offense. The Los Angeles Rams had a very one-dimensional defense. How can I explain that better? Everyone knew every opposing defense, even the Jets, which I will show a picture here. They stacked the box against Jared Goff because everyone knew against the Rams. Every defense knew that Jared Goff cannot push the ball downfield easily. So that being said, it's very telling and it's just very intriguing to think of, and to think of really again what McVay will be able to do with Matthew Stafford, it will become more, it will add more depth to that offense, which I think it desperately needs. And it's gonna be very fun to watch this season. Keep an eye out for the LA Rams. Now on the opposite side, on the Detroit Lions end of things, why would they take Jared Goff? I just said all of this. He's one dimensional. He's not that great of a quarterback, all that. So why would Detroit take him for obviously what is a downgrade from Matthew Stafford? My reasoning to this, Detroit is a team that is not going anywhere anytime soon. Meaning within now to the next 3, 4, 5 years, I do not see them being contenders at all. Detroit is a bad team. They have nice pieces, but they're starting from zero. They're starting a rebuild completely. So I think they did this because they honestly they got 3 draft picks, 2 firsts and a third. This is because obviously as a team that's rebuilding, the more draft capital you can have, the better it is. So that being said, I like the trade on both ends. Obviously, I don't like Goff. I don't necessarily like Goff. I don't hate him, but I don't necessarily like him as a quarterback. I don't really know him as a person. But I don't know. It was good from both ends, like I said. But Matthew Stafford is ways away from Jared Goff, and now I like it. He actually gets a chance, so I find it to be an equal balanced trade. The Lions lost Bollywood is a top 10 quarterback. I'm not really making a list right now, so I'm gonna just say top 10 to maybe it's top 5, but I haven't made a list. So, the Lions have nice starting pieces in Hawkinson, Julian Okwara, who was at Notre Dame last year. I really like that pick. They have Trey or Eric Flowers? I'm pretty sure it's Trey Flowers. And they have Decker Travis. I feel like his first name is Travis, but I cannot remember. But I really like. They have nice. They have nice. What's the word? Foundational pieces, but they need help on the offensive line, which is what I think they should invest their first round pick this year in, their fourth overall pick, whether it be Rashawn Slater, TJ Hawkinson, Rashawn Slater, whether it be if Penny Sewell is there, Christian Darsaw. There are a bunch of guys at 3, and I like the Jets to pick Penny Sewell, but I mean if they don't and he's there at 4, I'd like to see them take an offensive lineman, a tackle specifically. They should really focus on that this offseason. But I will get more to that in the future. Team needs and how much cap they have each team and etc. etc. But anyways, so again, just to recap quickly, I said this earlier, but then I said some other things. it was an equal. It was very balanced, in my opinion. A fair trade for both sides. For both sides, right? It was very equal and very fair. There wasn't one team that necessarily won, unless Stafford gets injured, or I hope he does not. But I mean, knock on wood, right? That but like, it was very good. The Lions are rebuilding. The Rams got a good quarterback at their series contenders now. I cannot wait to watch the Rams. I cannot wait to watch what Detroit does in the offseason. All that.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.